Welcome to Saturday Afternoon Live. I'm your host, Mr. Joestar, and this is my co-host, Rye Toast. Tonight, we'll be discussing the golden treats of the gods, which are currently undergoing the threat of extinction. Now, Rye, when we were talking before the show, you said that you felt the Hostess announcement made earlier this week and the resulting panic was similar to another event earlier in American history. Now, what did you say that was?
That was the Salem Witch trials.
Now, why do you say that?
Well, I conveniently wrote an essay about this for my English class, and my old man, Keenan Ham. Some of the points I made were, well, number one, scapegoating. Back in 1692, the concept of contemporary witchcraft was a popular scapegoat. Everything that went wrong in town was blamed on witchery. The parallel for the Hostess bankruptcy, that's the fact that everybody is blaming this crisis on Michelle Obama. And see, another point that I made was the sense of distrust lingering within both of the events. See, back in Salem, nobody trusted each other. Everybody was paranoid because everybody suspected that somebody else was going to turn them in to jail. And see, in today's Hostess incident, there's a lot of distrust going around because, you know, these outrageous prices and deals that are supposedly on eBay. Nobody knows if they're scams or if it's really worth the money that's being paid. For instance, there's an offer on eBay right now, $21 million for one box of Twinkies. The seller is actually he's proposing that he's going to give the money to charity, but
yes, a noble cause.
One can be skeptical.
You'll find that they actually ate it, and they kept your money too.
Right, that could definitely happen.
Oh, it seems that we're getting a phone call.
Hey, I heard you guys were going on and on about Hostess going out of business. I just wanted America to know it's Michelle Obama's fault. If she hadn't introduced these new health rules, America wouldn't want to be so healthy.
Well, that's very interesting, kind sir.
See, that is a prime example of the scapegoating that I just mentioned.
Well, it's time for our commercial break, but right after, we'll be back with our celebrity guest, the Swanky Nike. And now we're back. Unfortunately, Rye Toast has gone to check his eBay listing for a 2-pack of Hostess treats. He started the bidding off at $5, and it has risen a surprising amount, up to $5,000 currently. But anyways, we're back and with our celebrity guest, Nike. Now, what has your experience been with this whole catastrophe?
Personally, I think this is a bit of a cover-up. I mean, the Hostess company has been failing since the 1960s, so really this was more of their red herring in order to get their investments out quick before the company completely goes underground. This is really just them dodging a bullet. Getting everyone to panic about their product going out of the stores is the same thing that happened in Salem with Abigail Williams. That little skink claimed Tituba was a witch simply so she could get out of being in trouble for dancing in the woods.
Very true. And it's interesting that you take this point because your view on the matter is incredibly similar to the neighboring townsfolk in the town of Andover. They were a little ways from Salem, and they, too, experienced their own witch hunt and hysteria, but they, like you, quickly realized that it was nothing but a hoax. And they even went so far as to overthrow the local court. But we know that you wouldn't go so far as to do something yourself, would you?
Well, I don't know how she'd go about overthrowing Hostess. Plus, we know she's not the kind of girl to do that.
You keep telling yourself that, kiddo. I'm sure that someday it'll be true. Back to the important matters at hand that doesn't include one's eBay status. The firing of those workers is coincidentally similar to the execution of the citizens of Salem.
You do make a good point. Oh, it looks like we're receiving another call. Here. Oh,
Here you go.
thanks. All right, you're on. What's your question? Statement.
Well, I heard from a trusted source that Hostess would be making a comeback in about 8 months, and I was wondering what your guys' thoughts about that was.
Well, that's completely ridiculous. I mean, if that happens, the long-term consequences are obviously catastrophic. There will be so many people that have spent thousands and apparently millions of dollars on baked goods, and all for nothing. This hysteria would just make America the laughing stock of the entire world, even more so than the Vietnam War has. And then maybe some poor, hapless student would be assigned to a group that decides to compare the Crucible and the Hostess hysteria. I mean, and honestly, all those people have lost all of this money. And guys, this is such a big deal. Why aren't you freaking out about this? No, stop! Guys! Oh my gosh! Guys! I mean, why aren't you freaking out about this?
Well, nice catch, Rye. That was an unprecedented level of crazy we've never seen on this show before. Anyways, I think we're reaching our limit on airtime. What are your closing thoughts, Rye?
I don't know if Hostess is going to return or not. If they don't, we'll have to satisfy our appetites with Little Debbie's. And they just don't compare.
Nothing. They will never be able to compare, Rye.
These are difficult times, Mr. Joestar.
Indeed they are, Rye. Well, it's been a fantastic time here this afternoon. We hope you have a fantastic day, but don't forget to tune in next week when we talk about student government, the hopeless sham of a popularity contest. Well, we hope you have a good night, and this has been Saturday Afternoon Live.